This is WGLS Rowan Radio.
Welcome to American host Stanley L. And today we have Angela Rodgers here at the Woodbury Public Library in Woodbury, New Jersey. We're doing a live broadcast courtesy of the Woodbury Public Library. And Angela, for being able to walk across the street and share her her story with us. How you doing, Angela?
I'm all right.
You all right?
Yes.
Yeah, I.
Yeah.
Could have said extraordinary, then I would have been highly impressed. She just laughs. Angela, why don't you start by just giving us a little, background, where you're from, what do you do, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, I've only been in Woodbury here about a year. I actually have been in New Jersey for about 2 years, so I'm really new to the area. I've been in North Carolina for probably the past 7 or 8. I went to college. I taught there for several years, but I grew up kind of moving all over. My father was in the military. So when the "where are you from" question comes up, it's always trying to figure out how to answer that question.
Okay. Start with where were you born?
Yeah. So I was born in New Hampshire.
Okay.
So there we go. But I only lived there for 6 months as an infant. So and then we moved a lot. So
what are some of the places that you traveled to that you remember?
New Mexico, we spent a lot of time. And my favorite place was Italy. I actually lived for 3 years during my high school years.
Nice.
So that was exciting.
Did you have a chance to be anywhere foreign where you could master the language? Or?
I took several years of Italian while I was in high school. I could go to the marketplace and kind of be able to talk a little bit, but I haven't used it for several years. So, yeah.
I'm sure you could do better than me. I know pizza.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think that's Italian, though. That's that corny joke.
That's a universal thing.
That's right. Carlton's in the house, too. Watch out for the corny jokes.
Yeah.
How you doing, Carlton?
I'm well. That's my monopoly, the corny jokes, I guess.
Well, I know you have some questions for Angela later, but anyway, this is the American Dream. First time on the show.
Yes.
I know you're going to be back again because we talked about that earlier. What is your American Dream?
My American dream is such a big question. I think for myself personally, it's being able to help people, specifically students, who had maybe kind of a hard time finding out who they are. They have difficult situations, and helping them see that they're strong enough to be able to rise above and do anything that they decide to do. Is to help my fellow Americans, my fellow man, woman, to be able to help people.
Now, I'm starting to sense that you're very patriotic.
I am. Yes.
Good. You're an American Dream. You have to be. You see that tie?
Yes.
Right? That's right. She's patriotic. Yes. But anyway, enough of that. We are a patriotic show. This show is kind of patriotic.
Yes.
We love America. We love people, Americans. We love what America's trying to do. We love the freedom we have. You're working for the Woodbury Public School System. Talk about that.
Correct. So this is my first year, like I said, in Woodbury. I started at Walnut Street Elementary, working as a library aide, kind of all over, doing library, helping during lunches, during recess. And that was when I was introduced to the 21st Century program, where they had a position over at the high school, and interviewed for that, and it went well. So now I'm over there at the after-school program, working with the junior and senior high students, helping them with homework, life skills, career skills, things like that.
How's that going for you?
It's great. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are getting started, that are new, working with people. We have a book club that's started, yoga and mindfulness, and the kids have been really excited about home ec. They've gotten to make Rice Krispie treats and things like that. That's a first time for a lot of our students. So it's really neat to see them so excited about those things.
Very, very, very good. The 21st Century program itself, talk about that. Is that, I believe it's a state program, or is it a national program? And what's kind of the thrust of the program itself?
It's actually a federally funded grant. So the school applied. This is our third year. So they applied initially to get the grant. It's a 5-year grant. and they were awarded it. So now we're in year 3 of 5, and we're working at building the program, creating sustainability within Woodbury to make sure that we've got like the community and things like that involved with the program to give back to the community, and also have the community working with the younger generations coming up. And hopefully at year 5, then we can renew it and we can continue the work and continue to grow and expand. Great.
Now, and as far as the benefits specifically to the youth, what exactly you're trying to achieve, you can give an example of programs and stuff like that if you like. I don't know how you want to approach it, but
yeah. So there's several different things that we're trying to work on. We're trying to work on grades, and not just the grades improving, but having students realizing that they're getting real world skills and that the things that they're learning in classes are important. And it's not just to go in a book and learn something, but they're learning things so that when they are out of school that they can be successful. And our specific component for the way we've decided to focus our grant, because there's several different ways, is career focus. So I think that's a great opportunity for students to say, okay, these are real life skills. What do I want to do with these skills? Where do I fit in to everything? What are my strengths? What can I work on? What are good things for me to strive towards, and start creating their own goals and to have a focus of as they take their steps through high school and out into the community, into the world, so that they can already be prepared and strengthened so that they can be productive and they can also go out and help other people as well.
Is this program unique to, I guess, towns or cities like Woodbury, or is it all over New Jersey, all over the United States? Do you know?
It's all over the United States.
Okay.
It's anybody in the United States who did the grant, who filled out the paperwork and went through the steps, and that they decided to award that to. So they are all over the country, and each one kind of has its own focus and things like that.
Okay, good. Now, you've been in Woodbury how long?
For a year.
What do you think about Woodbury?
I love Woodbury.
Why?
It's so unique. I love the area in general. I really enjoy the history. I really enjoy the community, that it's community, but it's still connected to the outside world. Like, it's not isolated. Like, I've been in some communities where they're in the middle of nowhere and they have this little community, but then that's it. They're cut off from everything. But there's Philadelphia, there's New York, there's DC. I mean, there's so many places that are so important, that are so close. But yet Woodbury has still maintained this community of taking care of each other and looking out for each other, and people know people and are trying to help lift each other up. And I think that that's not something that you always find now. And I think it's been great to starting to become part of the community. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I'm kind of sensing that the fact that you've traveled is kind of playing into this, because you've been exposed to a lot of different things. Because usually people come to a place new, they don't say that much. You know what I mean? You know, I'm born in Philadelphia, but grew up in South Jersey. So I've been to Woodbury before. I haven't really spent a lot of time here before I planted myself here. I've been here about 30 years. And I absolutely love it. And I chose Woodbury because of where it is. Philadelphia, the airport, Delaware, D.C., New York. It was like perfect for me at the time. And, of course, we're raising kids. Our children have gone through the Woodbury school system. And I just absolutely love the place. Yeah. And I love not the history, I love the nature, but also the diversity. You know, you get kind of everybody, all ages, all types, and it's pretty cool to be able to do that. Now that you're in the school system, you're working directly with like the junior and senior high school kids. What's the sense that you're getting about the direction they're going right now? And, you know, the world of young people today is a little different than...
Yes.
You understand?
Yes. So I think there's There's a lot of different factors that I feel like are involved right now, especially with technology being such a dominant thing, which I think can be positive, as well as we know there are negative side effects to that as well. But I think that they're more connected to each other than we've been able to previously be. You could be connected with somebody on the other side of the country, for example, to have that kind of global community, but also not necessarily as connected with like the person that's next to them because they have screens and things like that. So I think there's different ways that they're kind of being pulled, but I don't know yet. I think that as they grow, and there's so much more, and every day things are expanding faster than I think anybody ever imagined things could expand. So it'll be interesting to see where things lead in the future.
What do you hope to see happen with the 21st Century program in that mix of expanding ideas and fast pace, whatever it is?
I hope to see students being able to be competitive in a global market, since we're career focused, to be able to use those skills that they use every day, to be able to use communication, to be able to use electronic devices in new and inventive ways even that maybe we haven't thought of yet, to be able to be self-forward, to kind of be setting goals and to think of things, but also to be able to communicate with each other and be able to shake somebody's hand and look someone in the eye and be able to do those skills as well to be successful.
Necessary, very necessary.
Yes.
Carlton, you have a question?
Yeah, so you seem to be very, very passionate about helping students. At least that's the impression I'm getting. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Have you always been like that, or was there some sort of specific catalyst that caused you to really take a step further than many people?
I think it's been something since I was a teenager. I was in Future Educators of America when I was in high school. I knew that I wanted to be a teacher. I used to teach my stuffed animals like for a long time. I knew that that was something. But I also had a hard time with my home growing up, and I felt isolated a lot. And school was the place where I felt safe with my teachers. I had teachers I could talk to. And I think that's been, I think I've heard the mantra, like, be the person that you needed when you were that age. And I think that's kind of spurred me forward, because there's a lot of kids that maybe aren't going through the same thing that I went through, or they have something different, but everybody has something. Everybody has a story, and to help whoever they are to reach their full potential and let them know that there is somebody who may not understand but can be there, be a listening ear, and to help them. So.
Yeah, and that was a good question, because it kind of helped me too. And I mean, one of the reasons why I'm so passionate, I guess I'll use that word, about the young people is because of the opportunities I've had to do a variety of things that most people don't do, and having similar backgrounds to these kids. So I know that they can do it.
Yes.
I mean, Press Pause just walked into the room. Caitlin Anderson, came to the library, and he's a perfect example. If you don't mind me giving him a plug, the young man is one of the top videographers in the Delaware Valley for celebrities, and it kind of came from out of nowhere, and just, Carlton Crispin here sitting always next to me on the other side of the table. But, working in Woodbury, I see so much potential that I really feel that it requires an understanding from the adult standpoint and a buy-in that not only are they the future, but they're really valuable right now and can be used right now to do a lot of positive things and make positive impacts, and especially in the community and through their families. What's your take on that?
I think that, I agree with you, right? That sometimes I feel like youth are counted out because maybe they don't have a focus or they don't quite see it yet. They don't know how to channel what they're able to do, right? Like if they're really passionate about things, well, maybe sometimes it comes out in a negative way, but they just need a little bit of steering in the right direction. And I think that they have ideas that we have no clue about, that they just have a whole different way of thinking. And I think it's a lot of untapped potential to letting students have the floor. I've always been that way in my classroom, letting them be the leaders, giving them the responsibility and giving them a chance to shine. And sometimes that's all they need is that little bit, and then they can grow and really blossom.
Good. Carlton, anything else?
She said everything. I mean, obviously, students can sometimes do things not in the right direction or whatever, but they all have so much potential. They just need a good influence usually.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Sure. You could be from the poorest section of the country or whatever, and if they have a correct teacher, they can rise above that and become a billionaire and invent the next big thing. And their potential is basically limitless, at least in this country. Good.
So. Very quickly, what would you feel would be your greatest victory?
To have every student that I meet be able to feel like they're empowered.
Good word. On that note, we're going to stop right there, take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to the American Dream. I now present to you Beyond the Barriers with Stanley L.
Whether you're raising a family, advancing a career, building a business on a mission from God, victory lies beyond the barriers. Understand that free will means that you must choose what experiences you have in your life. Realize that freedom of choice gives us certain authority over conditions around us. What this means is that we may be beings of cause or effect. Being an individual of effects means we react to the ever-changing conditions around us. This ultimately results in confusion, discord, and destruction. Nothing in this world is permanent except the energy used to create. Therefore, the constant change we seem to experience is no more than an experience. The fact that we sometimes torment ourselves is truly destructive. There is no experience we have ever had, good or bad, that has not been overcome at some point. When we seem to fall, we eventually pick ourselves up and continue to move on. That is our God-given nature. We know as a fact the sooner we can resolve and forget a thing, the sooner we are free of it. Being a being of cause alone means that we are wholly constructive. That means that whatever the effect or appearance is before us, our nature is to express love and harmony. This is the ruling authority over all conditions throughout the universe. I am the strength, the courage, the power to move forward steadily through all experiences, whatever they may be, and to remain joyous and uplifted, filled with peace and harmony at all times, by the glorious presence which I am.
The American Dream, reality on Rowan Radio, 89.7 WGLS FM, with host Stanley L.
I believe of the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed, a democracy in a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies, everywhere, forever.
The 23rd principle of liberty states, A free society cannot survive as a republic without a broad program of general education.
And that concludes the American Dream. I'd like to thank you, our listeners, for sharing your time and attention. I'd like to thank also the Woodbury Public Library and, of course, the Woodbury Public School System, because they allowed us to have this woman here, Angela Rodgers, to come over and share her story and her passion and all about the 21st Century program. You want to give us any more information on the program, any contact information you want to put out there, or shout out? What do you want to do?
You can find any information that about the 21st century on the high school website. You just go there and there's a link for 21st century. It has all the upcoming information about our 6-week summer program that's coming up and about how you can attend in the fall.
Okay, no shout outs? Mom, Dad, whatever. It's okay. Words of wisdom.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm just trying to do my best.
There you go. That's good enough. Do your best.
There you go.
Carlton.
And this has been the American Dream on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. As always, have a great week, everyone.
American, the beautiful